Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're talking about one of the most epic fails I've ever seen buying or selling comic books. The channel we're talking about today specifically is WSP Disciple. Not predominantly a comic book channel, but he posted a video about some CGC books that he had gotten back, and one specifically was possibly one of the most epic fails I've ever seen. I was alerted to this by a friend of the channel, told me to go watch this video, and let's watch this video together and then let's talk about exactly how this guy got screwed over, not only by the original seller, CGC, PGX, and then finally finished off by Elite Comics 11.
Triple the value. So this is the really sad one.
It's an understatement.
ASM 129. So not only did it get dropped, remember it was a PGX, I think. It got dropped from a 9.2, so 2 grade points, which an 8.5 with the blue label is probably like $2,000. But it's a qualified grade because they feel like remember I was really happy that the interior, when I cracked it, it had the Mark Jewelers insert, and it's from 2004, right? It was graded back in 2004, so that was before, the variants and the inserts really a thing. So it's not like it was done for that reason. But in any event, I got like the full like body slam on this. So down 2 points, and then it also has considered a married insert, so it gets qualified instead of the blue label, which is basically like unmolested universal. Thank God I didn't get the purple label, which is like restored, which I kind of don't understand. If it has a married insert, then why is it not the purple label? Which a purple label would be, it's not worthless, but it would have cut the value down probably by like a quarter. So as it was, this is, like I said, it's probably worth like $2,000 with a blue label. I put it up for sale on Elite Comics. It sold within like 2 hours, and I sold it for like $1,200. So the crappy thing is, I bought this like 2 years ago, almost to the day. The market was up then, obviously, but I got it for what I considered a deal at the time. So not the top of market at the time, but it would be certainly super top of market today. I bought it for like $4,000 2 years ago.
Oh my God.
And I just sold it for
$1,200.
$1,250. So $1,249. So, it took like a $2,750 haircut, after buying it for $4,000 2 years ago. Am I doing that math right? Yeah, $2,750 plus $1,250 is $4,000, I think, right? But I mean, the upside is that the money was spent 2 years ago, right? And it was going to be for the PC. And then I was kind of considering if I got like a grade bump to like a 9.4. But they discovered inside slightly rusty staples, so that's what bumped it down. Otherwise, it shows like it would be like a 9.4. But then, plus the qualified. So yeah, $1,250 just as like law school's coming for their deposit and everything. So I'm gonna try to just get the money back in the market and put it in my brokerage account, and not like spend it on any consumables or anything like that. But obviously this was a body slam. Not to mention, to grade all of these, I think was the better part of $500, because this was,
Oh my God.
it was in the tier of like stated value. Basically, it's almost like insuring your car stated value instead of just straight line KBB or Kelly Blue Book, or NADA rather.
Okay, so let's break down exactly what happened here. This guy bought a book, this ASM 129, from some seller who had it in a PGX, I think he said 9.2. That book had an artificially inserted, a married Mark Jewelers insert into the centerfold. So basically somebody Frankenstein that book to make it a faux Mark Jewelers. PGX apparently did not put that on the label, to my understanding. I don't know. I didn't see the PGX label, but to my understanding, it wasn't considered a Mark Jewelers, or he didn't know it was a Mark Jewelers. So he was surprised to find that that's what it was when he took it out of the slab. Then he sent it to CGC thinking that it was a Mark Jewelers, only for them to tell him, no, that's it's a married Mark Jewelers insert. So what should have happened at that point was CGC should have called him, should have notified him about this, because it doesn't, something like that, CGC should make the person that's getting this graded aware before they make their final decision, because a lot of people might not have known that unless you were some sort of guru that was able to detect restoration. I mean, he might not have known that's a married cover. Take a step back. If they would have notified him, or once he got the book back from CGC, so when we saw it at this point right here, he could have he could have cracked it out of the slab, taken the Mark Jewelers insert out. Now, I've never done something like that, but I can't imagine it being extremely difficult for somebody who deals with restoration removal. Basically, lifting the staples up, getting that insert out, folding the staples back in there, and sending it back to CGC. It could have, the grade fluctuation, it could have come back an 8.0, it could have come back a 8.5 again. Hell, it could have come back a 9.0. You just never know. That rhymed. It gets better. He tries to sell this as a green label married Mark Jewelers insert on Elite Comics 11. Now, this is something I was not aware of on Elite Comics 11. If followers of the channel, I have a significant amount of beef with Elite Comics. But I actually several years ago applied to basically sell on Elite Comics 11. And all you people that think like, oh, well, these are legit, trusted sellers. Dude, they let some schmuck like me try to sell on there. Like, it wasn't like they're basically to make you bona fide. Basically, all you have to do is just get like a few people to say, hey, I'm a legit seller, and that's all it takes. I mean, if that's all it takes to sell on Elite Comics 11, that's a joke. Then Elite Comics 11 tells him to sell this book at a certain price. He must have said, to my understanding, he was trying to sell it for like $1,600. They tell him, no, you probably want to sell this around $12.50, which he posted it at $12.50 per their recommendation, per their guru knowledge, sold within 2 hours. Whenever something sells like that, either instantaneously or within 2 hours, you priced it too low, obviously. So the person that has bought this off Elite Comics 11, either they're watching this video, watching my video, or, they're aware of this somehow. Basically, they're getting a book that if they crack it out of the slab, take out the Mark Jewelers insert, send it back in, they've potentially doubled their money instantly by doing this. This is one of the worst beatings I've ever seen. Like, this dude got beat up by the original seller, PGX failure to disclose that this was a Mark Jewelers, CGC's failure for communication with the person that owned the book, that this was going on with their book, Elite Comics 11's betrayal of making him sell this book for so little with basically no regard for what this book could actually be sold for. And then this poor guy, he is trying to do the right thing. He's about to have something super big happen in his life. He says he's going to law school, taking a deposit for law school. So I've already got a soft spot in my heart for him because he's about to go to professional school. Then he's about to take this kind of hit. He talks about him taking a haircut. Dude, it's $2,800. That's a pretty decent little haircut there. He's trying to do the right thing. He was like, it is what it is. It's already been sold. He's sending it to the buyer from Elite Comics. He's trying to do the right thing. But damn, this is brutal. This is one of the worst. This is one of the worst beatings I've ever seen. And this is coming from somebody who's lost thousands selling their comic books, specifically my Hulk 181. But this is something that could have been avoided, really. This is something that, this could have played out very differently for him. And I really, really feel for this guy. He tried to do the right thing, and he's still being positive about it. But this was brutal. What do you guys think? If at any point in time you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you like this video, subscribe for more. Take care.